Hi, what's up, guys? Nick Davis here, and I just got back from the Indianapolis Regional, where I placed 14th playing Dragon Link. I'd like to give you a little deck profile of what I was playing for the event, but before I do that, I'd like to give a couple shoutouts. First, I'm going to shout out my two biggest supporters, my dad and my girlfriend Maggie. I'd like to shout out the people who helped me get up to Indianapolis so I could compete, so that's my friends Axel, Ethan, and also my girlfriend. I'd like to shout out the Funky Fresh Boys. They helped me test and kind of build this deck, so that's going to be Eric, Oscar, Kirk, and Ken. And finally, I'd like to shout out my best friend Colin. With that out of the way, let's get into the list. So first I'm playing 10 Bestials. I'm going to, for this list we're playing 3 Libellion, 3 Magnamut, 3 Serenir, and 1 Druisworm. Nothing much to say about this ratio. It's pretty standard. Wouldn't recommend playing it any other way. Next, I'm playing for the Chaos Engine. We're doing 1 Black Serpent, 1 White Wyvern, and a copy of Levianeer. Now, to help kind of push this Chaos Engine forward, I'm also playing 3 copies of Seifert. Not only is this a good normal summon, but sometimes there are hands where you're just kind of you kind of need to extend a little further. So Seifert can send itself sometimes to grab one of these 2 serpents and get you into your combos. More often than not, though, we're discarding something like Libellion in order to get to Levianeer. So 3 Seiferts just to kind of supplement the Chaos Engine. Next, the Rocket Engine. I'm playing 1 Absolouter Dragon. I'm playing a Rocket Recharger. I'm playing 2 copies of Tracer. And finally, I'm playing Caliber. Now, this is optional. I found a lot of lists not playing this. Personally, I thought it came up quite a bit in testing. And during the regional, this also came up quite a bit. Being able to special summon to a zone a dark Link Monster points to is very handy. It's another search off of Quick Launch and Rocket Tracer. And it contributes itself to special something from the hand, which has come up quite a bit. It is a pretty good lifesaver. So I would recommend playing these cards if you're running the Rocket Engine. And then we're playing for our Red Eyes engine, we're playing 3 Black Metal, we're playing Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and we're playing Meteor Dragon. This is definitely an optional one. I think it's a great idea because we can add it off of Black Metal since it's not a once per turn. So you're adding 2 cards off of Black Metal in your turn, given that you're not drolled. It is a level 6, so you can use it for plays with like a Tomb or something like that, or you can synchro it off for Disbatter Baron. When it specials itself, it becomes a level 7 though, which isn't terrible. Like, it's fine. At worst, in that case, it's just used as link material for something like a Triple Burst or Borland. And for the non-engine, we are running 1 copy of Driver, 1 copy of Gamma, and 3 Nibiru. Now, the nice thing here is that even if you don't see Gamma, you can still use this engine because Meteor's effect is to send a normal monster level 5 or higher from the deck or hand to the graveyard in order to special summon itself. So if you don't see Gamma, it's not terrible. You still get to use the driver as material for or cost for the Meteor Dragon. Now, if you do see Gamma, that's great because this deck does lose pretty hard to things like Droll and D-Shifter. So when you do see this, it's nice. If you don't, you still get to use it through Meteor Dragon. Now for the spells. I'm playing 3 Chaos Space, 3 Quick Launch. I'm playing 1 copy of Regained. I'm playing a copy of Ravine. I'm playing 1 copy of Boot Sector, 3 Book of Eclipses, and 3 Triple Tactics Talent. Now, I know some lists are playing Branded Beast. Personally, for this list, I don't think it's needed. I think the Book of Eclipse is optional. However, this deck does lose pretty hard to Cash and Pearly, so this card did come up quite a bit, not just in testing but at the event. I highly recommend playing this card. Now, with the main deck done, we can move into the extra deck. For this event, I was playing pretty standard Striker Dragon, Pisty, Seals, Romulus, Triple Burst, Borland, Dark, Unicorn, and Access. The only thing about this that I would maybe change is the access code. In testing, it didn't come up, but during the event, it came up quite a bit. I think if I switch this, it's going to be for something like Underworld Goddess, but that is a card I'd have to test with. For now, I think access is fine, but if you are looking for room, this is a potential card you could switch out for something else, maybe. If you find yourself needing something else, of course. Then for the Xyz monsters, we're playing one copy of Atum and one copy of Zeus. Zeus kind of explains itself. Since we are running an Xyz monster, Zeus is going to come in handy. We are also running triple tactics, so if we find ourselves in a position where we can steal our opponent's Xyz monster, that does get us into Zeus, which is a pretty good line. Same with Atum, kind of explains itself. Any 2 level 6s in this deck gets you into Atum. Not only is it a good extender, but it's also a great combo piece, so I highly recommend playing these 2 cards. And finally, we have our Synchros, Scarlight Archfiend, Boral Savage, Dispatter, and Baron. Now in testing, I didn't really see a use for Scarlight coming up, but during the regional, this card came up quite a bit. If you're playing Dragon Link, I highly recommend playing Scarlight. It will come up for you at some point, I promise. And lastly, the side deck, where I'm playing for monsters in the side, I'm playing Baldrake, I'm playing Pankratops, I'm playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom, and I'm playing 3 copies of Droll. Couldn't play Kurikara for this list because I don't own it. Kind of broke after buying the Bestials and the engine for this deck. So kind of making do with what I have here. I don't think I'm going to be playing Droll going forward. I got to use it quite a bit at the regional, but it didn't really do much. I'm not convinced this card is great this format. I am thinking of switching this to something like Book of Moon, because our hardest matchups are Cashier and Pearly. Droll, depending on the hand, isn't really great against those decks, but Book of Moon would be great. I found myself a lot in this regional thinking that I would rather this be Book of Moon than Droll whenever I saw it. So Droll is optional, but the rest I'm pretty satisfied with. And finally, we have 3 Cosmic, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. Not a whole lot to say here. We're playing these for back row hate because we need to. And we are running 3D Barrier. I think it's better than Virus this format. That is a personal opinion, but if you are playing D-Link, I recommend this card over Virus. I think this is more impactful. With that being said, that should bring us to the end of the list. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in a later video.